I mean, what do you want me to say? The Panthers. What do you want me to say? A golden opportunity. They could have went 2-0. They could have gone 2-0 in the division, 6-4 overall. They blew it. 2 games above 500. Now they're back to 5-5. They blew it against a 1-8 team that really ain't good. Starting a rookie quarterback. I know Tyler Shuck is 26 years old, but he's a rookie. And they were at home and they played like... Let's go ahead and get into this episode of the Coach Cherry Show. I don't know how you pick the Panthers. I'm still trying to figure out how to pick this team. Now, I said at the beginning of the season, I said they'll be 7-10. I wanted to say 6-11, but I said, you know what? I think they can win 7 games. I was counting the New Orleans Saints as 2 wins. Gosh, right when you think the Panthers have turned the corner. We thought they had turned the corner, y'all. Yes, we did. When they went to Green Bay, man, they went up to Green Bay. They went to Lambeau Field, and they won that game in Lambeau, and they come back and look like that mess. The offense did absolutely. Opening drive. You saw the opening drive and said, here we go. I'm going to be very honest with you. Very honest with you. I knew the Panthers lost the game in the first quarter. What are you saying, Coach Cherry? The Panthers had that opening drive. Boom, Rico Dowdle punches it in. And I said, here we go. It's going to be a good Panthers win. When New Orleans got the ball, I believe it was 3rd down. They could have got New Orleans off the field, and Tyler Shook was scrambling around, and they didn't get him, and he hit Juwan Johnson for like a 52-yard completion. I said, ball game. Yes, I did. But he didn't score on that play, Coach. I don't care. Ball game. Boy, I'm talking about that's ball game. Yes, it is. That's ball game. Because, see, if you get a 3-and-out right there and you get New Orleans off the field, they're done. You got a crippled 1-8 team coming in with no confidence. This season they ain't playing for that. Season's done. And you just went up 7-0. You stop them on 3-and-out. You get the ball back and go score again. They're done. See, when a team is having a bad season, they may start the game off with some fake confidence. I've seen that before. I've seen that in coaching. I've seen that in playing. Team is having a bad season. They may come out with some fake confidence. Yeah, we ready. They ain't ready. Because if you jump on them 14-0, what's going to creep in their mind is, yeah, you know what? We're not that good. We ain't playing for nothing this season. We've struggled every game. This is just another game where we're going to. When Tyler Shook escaped that pressure and hit Juwan Johnson on that 52, I said, that's ball game. Panthers are done. That showed me the Panthers weren't ready to play. That one play showed me Panthers ain't talking about nothing today. They still hyping, eating chicken off Green Bay's win. They ain't talking about nothing. They were still eating off Green Bay. Y'all let him because see, a team that has arrived, a team that's ready, they lock in on that 3rd down and say, get them off the field. That's what a good team does. Hey, fellas, we're up 7-0. It's 3rd down. Get them off the field. They let Tyler Shook run around like that. And complete. Panthers ain't talking about nothing today. I said the Panthers ain't talking about nothing today. Not today. Nah, they're not locked in. That's ball game. Game's over. The game is over. See, sometimes bad teams aren't used to success. What do you mean? Sometimes they're not used to success. A lot of success lately. They won 4 out of their last 5 games before this game against New Orleans. They had won 4 out of 5. They didn't know how to handle it. You're in playoff contention. They didn't know how to handle that. The Panthers, who haven't gone to the playoffs since 2017. They're in playoff contention. They didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to handle that. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't know how to handle that. Your name is being talked about in playoff discussion. Boy, it's been a long time. They didn't know what was going on, y'all. They didn't really know what was going on. And they didn't understand the magnitude of today's game. Today's game could be the season. One game can shift your whole season. They go to Atlanta next week. Now, if they lose to Atlanta, that's it. That's it. They didn't understand the importance of, we're 5-4. We can go 2 games above 500. Not only that, we can go 2-0 in the division and be tied with Tampa for first place. They didn't understand the importance of the game because this team, this group of guys, have never been in this position. They don't know what that's like to be in playoff contention and going for a play. They don't even know what that's like. That's why I kept saying this year wasn't the playoff year. Not this year. This year ain't the playoff year. I said next year is the playoff year. And I believe that. I believe next season you go into the season saying, now we're fighting for a playoff spot. We expect to go to the playoffs. No, mathematically the season is not over. Can they beat Atlanta next week? They can. They can. I'm not going to make my pick today. But they can. But see, these teams have players, y'all. If you saw my YouTube prediction on my YouTube short, I said, I'm picking the Panthers to win, but I don't understand why New Orleans is struggling. I didn't understand that. I said it's got to be quarterback play because they have everything else. They have Alvin Kamara. That's a good running back. They have Chris Olave. That's a good wide receiver. They have Taysom Hill. That's a versatile player that can play multiple positions. I don't understand why it's got to be. And so when Tyler Shook came out and played well today, I said, there it is. That's all they were missing. It's a division opponent, Coach Cherry. Divisional games are tough. I don't want to hear that. Don't give me. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Not that. Divisional games. I get it. I hear what you're saying. Divisional opponents are more familiar with each other. I get what you're saying. Because you see each other twice every year and you play each other every year. Some teams, like the Panthers played New England this year, they may not see New England for another 2 or 3 years. So I understand the divisional opponents, you're more familiar with each other because you see each other twice every year. I get that. I don't want to hear that. This was a New Orleans Saints team that was 1-8 and giving up 27. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. If divisional opponents is tough, those are tough matchups to figure, then how did the Panthers beat Atlanta 30-0? That's a divisional opponent. They beat them 30. The game wasn't even competitive. 30-0. Oh, so you can beat a divisional opponent like you're supposed to. Oh, okay. Just checking. Miami beat Buffalo. So, yeah, upsets can happen. But Miami has players on that team. Huh? We know Miami, they were just in the playoffs. New Orleans ain't talking about playoffs. No. You lost to New Orleans? And it wasn't even, yes, it was a 10-point game, but it really wasn't competitive like that. The Panthers defense and this offense, you can't knock the Panthers defense because they've been playing well. Other than that Buffalo game, and they gave a lot of points against Buffalo, but they've been playing well. No, you can't. I don't want to hear that. They held Green Bay to 13, and they held New Orleans to 10. New Orleans came into the game averaging 15 points per game, and Carolina's defense held them to 10. What else do you want them to do? The other touchdown New Orleans got was off a Bryce Young interception. But other than that, the Bryce Young interception, Carolina held New Orleans to 10. And they were averaging, so they held them below their average. What do you want Coach Avero to do? Offense did nothing. Nothing. You took the divisional opponent. New Orleans came into the game giving up 27 points per game. That's what their defense was averaging. Their defense was allowing 27 points per game, and we scored 7. And that was on the first drive. After the first drive, nothing. The refrigerator was closed, no more eating. After the first drive, the refrigerator's closed. There's no more eating. They stacked the box against Rico Dowdle. They stacked it. And they said, you're going to have to beat us with the passing game. Oh, boy. You're going to have to beat us with the passing game, and we don't believe you can do it. You know why? Because I've been saying all year long, all the Panther passes are underneath routes. 6, 7, 8, 9 yards. That's it. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like dance steps. That's the Panthers passing game. 5, 6, 7, 8. Are we going to throw anything downfield? You mean to tell me Xavier Legette can't get nothing? I need all my wide receivers. All you Panther wide receivers, come here. Come talk to Coach Cherry. Can't none of y'all get open? Jalen Coker, you can't get open at all downfield. As an NFL receiver, you can't get open? Xavier Legette, I know you did your Glorilla videos. You can't get open downfield at all. You can't create no separation. Now, T-Mac is the only one, but T-Mac is not a vertical threat. I love what Teteroy McMillan is doing. He's having an outstanding rookie season. But all his stuff is underneath. He ain't catching nothing over the top. Nothing. All my wide receivers come here. And where's Jimmy Horn Jr.? You mean to tell me Jimmy Horn Jr. can't run deep? He can't run a deep route? Hunter Renfrow is hurt, so we can't ask anything of him. Where's Bryson Tremaine? I guess he can't go deep either, huh? No, nobody can run a deep route. Bryson Tremaine can't run a deep route. So all we have is a running game and 5, 6, 7, 8. We got the dance step passing game. That's it. That is not, boy, you can forget about it. That's your game plan? That's not working. Because now Atlanta saw what happened today. And ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Panther fans, this schedule is about to really toughen up. The Panthers blew a big opportunity today. This schedule is about to toughen up. Since some of y'all say divisional games are so tough, okay, so you got a division game on the road next week. Apparently that's supposed to be tough. Huh? Then you got to go to San Francisco. Oh boy. Then you got the Los Angeles Rams. Now the Los Angeles first, woo. You got Kyle Shanahan on that other sideline for San Francisco. You got Sean McVay for the Los Angeles Rams. Whew. Now the Rams, that's a Super Bowl contending team. Matthew Stafford leads the NFL in touchdown passes. He's having a great season. You sure you want to play the Rams? Okay. I don't care if it is at the Bank of America Stadium. I don't care where it is. But the Rams got to come to Charlotte. Okay. Matthew Stafford's a veteran with a Super Bowl ring. Okay. Matthew Stafford said, we'll come to Charlotte. That's fine. Well, he wants to play uptown? That's fine. We'll do it. The Panthers have one game. Boy, y'all ain't going to like this. I'm just stating the facts. That's all Coach Cherry's doing. He's stating the facts. The Panthers have one game where they've passed for over 200 yards. Almost closed this lap. They got one game of over 200 yards passing. One. And ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and tell you this. That was week 2 at Arizona. The last time the Panthers threw for over 200 yards was week 2. I said week 2. And that was, they were trying to come from behind and slinging that thing around. And Bryce Young did. He had 328 yards. He had a heck of a game. We haven't thrown for over 200 yards since week 2. We haven't even thrown for 200 yards since week 2. You ain't winning like that. Nah, you can. Because see, now everybody knows, put 7, 8 in the box, stop Rico Dowdle, ball game's over. That's it. I don't know, y'all. And if nobody can get open down the field, can't none of y'all run by nobody? The last 4 games, the Panthers have scored 13 points, 9 points, 16 points, and 7 points. Ugh. And I mean, ugh. You got to reevaluate some things. Now, I know what some of y'all are saying. Coach, it's one game. No, it's not. It's not one game. The film is out now of this one game. Stop Rico Dowdle, and that's it. And I'm going to be honest with you. Here's what I would do. I would load up the box and stop Rico Dowdle. And then, in passing situations, I'm doubling Tedero McMillan. I am literally bringing another. You're going to throw to somebody else. Okay, well, let's look then. Because I ain't going to sit there and watch that. No. When you're in a passing situation, Tedero McMillan is not going to be an option for you. Look at the Panthers receiving today. Tedero McMillan had 5 catches for 60 yards. 12 yards a catch. Okay, that's a first down. It's not anything deep down the field, but it's a first down. The next highest receiver, Jatavion Sanders. 5 catches for 32 yards. 6 yards a catch. Jalen Coker, 3 catches for 21 yards. Rico Dowdle was the next after that, 3 catches for 10 yards. You're telling me, boy, I'm talking about only 2 wide receivers had catches. Tedero McMillan and Jalen Coker. That's it. Okay. Those are the only 2 receivers that... That's not going to get it, y'all. I'm just being honest with you. That's not going to get it. One game of 200 yards passing? You look at the remaining schedule. Woo, they haven't even played Tampa yet. Now the Panthers are sitting at. Let's look at this. Let's look at the rest of the schedule. Panthers are sitting at 5-5. They go to Atlanta. They go to San Francisco. They play Los Angeles at home. They go to New Orleans. They have Tampa at home, Seattle at home, and they go to Tampa. So that's 7 games remaining. I think they're so tough to predict. Because are the Panthers from Green Bay showing up, or are the Panthers that played the New Orleans Saints showing up? Which one? I don't know. The Panthers that beat Dallas, or the Panthers that got smashed by Buffalo? Which one is showing up? I don't know. At Atlanta, San Fran, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Tampa, Seattle, Tampa. Out of those 7 games, I'm going to say they win 2 of them. I think they win 2 out of their last 7. Don't ask me which 2, because the way this team plays, they could beat Tampa and lose to New Orleans in New Orleans. I see them going 2-5, and that's going to put them right where I said. I said they would go 7-10. That'll put them at 7-10. Is Bryce Young the guy? Is Bryce Young the quarterback for the Panthers? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Bryce Young is the guy. I don't. And y'all know how much I love Bryce Young. Y'all know how much I big up Bryce Young. Y'all know how much I have come on here and said Bryce Young is good. You know I've said that. Yes, you do. You know I've championed, even last year when they benched him. I said, nope, Bryce Young is the quarterback. I said that. And I still, watch this, I still believe Bryce Young is a good NFL quarterback. I do. I believe he's a good one. I just don't think he's for Carolina. I think Bryce Young is a good NFL quarterback. I just don't think he belongs in Carolina for the Carolina Panthers. I don't think he belongs for Carolina. Put Bryce Young in San Francisco. Oh, he's going to do his thing. Bryce Young in San Francisco? Psh. Put Bryce Young in Baltimore. Put Bryce Young, I know he's not going to start in Baltimore, but I'm talking about that kind of system is what put Bryce Young in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is hurt. Put Bryce Young in Cincinnati with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Put him in Cincinnati. Bryce Young is a good quarterback. He's just not for the Carolina Panthers. Now, he may have a good game next week, and then you might say, well, Coach, I thought you said he wasn't. I said he's a good NFL quarterback. So he can have moments on a bad team. Yeah, you can do that. But if Bryce Young wants to max out his career, he needs to go to another team. The Panthers need a daggone at quarterback. That's what they need. That's why they need a Cam Newton, a daggone. What do you mean a daggone? Somebody that can make something happen. Like Cam Newton, can't nobody get open downfield? I'm going to run for 60 yards. Lamar Jackson, can't nobody get open downfield? I'm running for 60 or 70 yards. Michael Vick, I'll just run then. Josh Allen, I'll just run. I'll make something. Something's going to happen now. A daggone becomes your number one playmaker on offense. And see, Bryce Young has receivers that can't really get open. Now you're in a tough spot. You got receivers, when you drop back, you ain't got nobody other than Tedero and McMillan. Can't nobody else get open? Yeah, you're in a tough spot now. I don't think that's the kind of system because I don't know if he's going to make anything else happen out there. Somebody's got to get open. He didn't run enough. I say he needs to run more. He won't run. He won't run more. He should be running 8 or 9 times a game. Yes, I said it. I ain't talking about taking on no hits. Go. Run, Bryce. Go. If Bryce Young ain't going to run 8 or 9 times, good luck. We'll see what the Panthers do. I got them going 2-5 the last 7. But today, that New Orleans Saints game, let's wash our hands of that. I know we weren't a part of it, but we don't want any of that. Now, in other areas of the NFL, I see what other teams are doing. I'm going to be honest with y'all. You're talking about the NFL as the playoffs are starting to kind of take shape. You talking about that NFL? In the AFC, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore. Coach Cherry, there's some other good teams out there. Okay, they're going to have to show it in the postseason. Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore. That's who it's been the last several seasons. Those 3 teams. Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore. If I'm not picking anybody else outside of those 3, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I know what Indianapolis is doing. They're 8-2. Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. Those 2 are playing outstanding. I see it. I see it. Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. You're going to have to show me in the postseason. But right now, I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Now, they may beat each other in the post. I'm not picking. You're going to pick Indianapolis to beat Buffalo in the playoffs. That's who you're picking? I'm not picking that. Nope. I'm not picking that. You're going to pick San Diego to beat Baltimore in the playoffs? I'm not picking that. You're going to pick Denver to beat Kansas City in the playoffs. Bo Nix and Sean Payton, you're picking them to beat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes? Not me. Not me. And I would like to see a different face in the Super Bowl this year. I would like to see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. I would like to see Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. I think it would be neat. I don't think they're going to make it, but I think it would be neat to see Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers' final year. I think that would be neat to see Aaron Rodgers go out playing in a Super Bowl. I do. I don't think it's going to happen. Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. If you're picking a team to come out of the AFC, pick one of those 3. Yeah, Denver is 8-2. They're not beating one of those 3. Yes, Indianapolis is 8-2. They're not beating one of the. Yes, the Los Angeles Chargers are 6-3. They're not beating one of those teams. Who else? Pittsburgh is 5-3. They're not beating one of those teams. No. New England 8-2. Drake May playing lights out. Stephon Diggs is getting involved a lot more now. I see it. I can't pick New England to beat Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore. I will say this, though. Maybe a little biased. I'm a Charlotte guy. I like New England. And I'm rooting for New England, right? Because Drake May, their quarterback, a Charlotte guy. I like Buffalo. I'm sorry. I like Indianapolis. Daniel Jones, their quarterback, a Charlotte guy. I'm rooting for those guys. Don't get it twisted now. I'm rooting for them. I want to see Drake May in a Super Bowl. I would love to see Daniel Jones in a Super Bowl. I coached against both of them in high school. High school basketball, I coached against both of them. I would love to see them make the Super Bowl. But if you're asking me who I'm picking Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson need to get to a Super Bowl to complete their resume. They do. Now, they can't wait for Patrick Mahomes to retire. They can't wait because they're all about the same age. I think Mahomes may be a year, 2 years older at the most. They're all roughly the same age. You can't wait for Patrick Mahomes to retire. Now, that's going to be too late. You can't wait for that. No, you can't. They got MVPs, they got all kind of stats and records and yardage and all these regular season accolades and boom, boom, boom. And they've been to conference championships and we get it. It's time for one of them. Both of them at some point need to go to. See, Dan Marino is considered a legend because he at least played in a Super Bowl. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, you got to get there. Look, you got to beat Patrick Mahomes. I don't care how you do it. You got to get there. You got to beat Patrick Mahomes. And now you got these other dudes coming up. Bo Nix, 8-2. Daniel Jones, Drake May, 8-2. I don't think they can beat Buffalo or Baltimore, but they're on the rise. All right? You got another generation of quarterbacks coming up, and they look hungry. You can't count out Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers, 6-3. Harbaugh, you got one of them Harbaugh's coaching. You know what they can do. Don't let your window close. In sports, you get a window. Charles Barkley made the finals one time. He never went back. Dan Marino made the Super Bowl one time and never went back. Cam Newton never went back. Sometimes you get a window. You got to make that thing happen. Huh? Jimmy Garoppolo went. He never went back. Brock Purdy may not get back. When you go, you've got to win. Fortunately for Jalen Hurts, he went back. That doesn't happen a lot. A lot of times you don't get multiple shots at it. So when you go, in your mind, you have to be thinking, I got one shot to win this thing. That's it. I got one shot to win this. And that is it. Huh? Boomer Esiason still trying to get back to the Super Bowl. He went with Cincinnati one time. He's still trying to get back. That window closes, and it's like, man, missed the window. Everybody doesn't have a Tom Brady career. That's why some consider him the GOAT. Because he went multiple times. Everybody don't go multiple times like Joe Montana. That's why some consider him the GOAT. Because he went multiple. But Patrick Mahomes, multiple. That don't happen for everybody. Sometimes you get a one shot at that thing. Drew Brees went one time. Thank goodness he won it. That's it. Drew Brees got it. Kurt Warner went. That's a wonderful thing about Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner went multiple times. Good job, Kurt. Underrated. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, don't let that window close. And them Drake Mays and them Daniel Jones and them Bo Nixes start taking over. Don't let that window close. In the NFC, Philly, the Rams. Philly and the Rams are standing out as the two best teams to me in the NFC. Green Bay is good. That loss to Carolina doesn't help, especially the way Carolina looked today. But Philly and the Rams, Detroit's in the mix as well. You got to include them. But I would say Philly and the Rams are the two top teams in the NFC. Matt Stafford's having a career year. But let me say this. I'm looking at the MVP race. And they tell me that football is the ultimate team sport. That's what they tell me. I played. I agree with that for the most part. The ultimate team sport. If it's the ultimate team sport, why is the quarterback always getting the MVP? When you look at the front runners for MVP this year, they're all quarterbacks. But yet and still, you tell me that football is the ultimate team sport. So it's the ultimate team sport. But the most valuable player on the team every year is the quarterback. So no other position, the ultimate team sport, no other position can be the most valuable. It's always the quarterback. Wow. The last time a defense wins championships, okay? The last time a defensive player won the MVP, do you know when that was? That was Lawrence Taylor in 1986. Defense wins championships. Defense matters. The ultimate team sport. Every player is valuable. Well, apparently defense ain't that valuable. Because a defensive player is never the most valuable player on the team. Ever. Lawrence Taylor is the last one to win MVP as a defensive player. 1986? We got to go back 40 years? It's been 4 decades? Oh my. I thought it was the ultimate team sport. So we're not going to award the defensive players at all. If you play on that side of the ball, you're never the most valuable player ever because you're not scoring any points. But then defense. If you're not on offense, you can forget about the MVP award. Forget about it. Huh? You can forget about it. The last time a non-quarterback has won it was Adrian Peterson in 2012. So since 2012, the most valuable player on the team, or in the NFL, I should say, is always a quarterback? Well, I mean, you're telling me it's the ultimate team game, but it only goes to quarterbacks. And then here's something else that I saw that really shocked me. I didn't realize this. The most valuable player award has never gone to a wide receiver. Jerry Rice couldn't get it. Randy Moss couldn't get it. Terrell Owens couldn't get it. Marvin Harrison, a wide receiver. Jerry Rice a wide receiver has never won the MVP, ever. But it's the ultimate team sport. One position is getting awarded. Quarterback. Look at the contracts. You show value in what you pay for. If you value certain things, you'll pay for them. If you want a nice car, if you have a lot of value in what kind of car you drive, you're going to pay for it. If you value certain types of foods and you want to eat high quality foods, you're going to pay for it. You value where you live, what community you stay in, the neighborhoods, you're going to pay for the home. You pay for things that you value. You value your wife, your husband, your children, you're going to pay for them. You value the type of education you want, you're going to pay for it. Why do quarterbacks have the biggest contracts? So the quarterback is always the most valuable? Always. Wow. But you tell me it's the ultimate team sport. Okay. Well, the MVP frontrunners this year, once again, are quarterbacks. Matter of fact, Drake May is in that discussion. Jonathan Taylor for the Indianapolis Colts is having an incredible season at running back. He may break that streak of a quarterback winning MVP every year since 2012. Taylor may break it. He just had over 200 yards today. I think they played in Berlin against the Atlanta Falcons. He may break the streak of quarterbacks winning every year since 2012. It doesn't matter to me who wins it. I'm just saying, if you're saying it's a team sport, and my goodness, I can't believe a defensive player hasn't won it since the 80s. My goodness. Speaking of most valuable, the Los Angeles Lakers were 7-2 before the Atlanta Hawks game. I said they were 7-2. LeBron James hadn't played. Now, they lost to Atlanta the other night. Austin Reeves was out as well. But how were they 7-2 without LeBron? Before the Atlanta game, Luka was averaging 40. Did you hear what I just said? Luka was averaging 40. Gosh, that's a lot. 40? Austin Reeves, 31. Let's go ahead and look at the Atlanta game now. Since they played Atlanta, they lost to Atlanta. Like I said, Austin Reeves didn't play. So the Lakers are now 7-3. They had won 5 in a row. How are they playing this well without LeBron? Now, I'm not saying they're a better team without LeBron. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't say that. I didn't say they were a better team without LeBron. What I am saying is I find it interesting that they're playing this well without him. To me, it looks like the players feel freer. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Boy, they ain't going to like this. I think JJ Redick feels freer. It can be tough to coach a superstar, y'all. It can be tough because you may feel like as a superstar, you have to center, and to a large degree you do, have to center your coaching around the star. But what you're seeing is, yes, LeBron James is that dude. But you got Luka, who's a first-team All-NBAer, who's a future Hall of Famer, who's going to go down as one of the greatest to ever play. That doesn't normally happen. Like, to have a teammate who's also a first-team All-NBA, when does that happen? Like, even with Boston, as good as Boston was when they won their title with Jason Tatum was first-team All-NBA, but Jaylen Brown wasn't. Jaylen Brown wasn't no first-team All. Jaylen Brown, no. So I don't know. When you look at first-team All-NBA, you don't see two guys from the same team. But LeBron, we know he can be first-team. Just last season, LeBron averaged 24.5, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, shot 51% from the field. We know LeBron's still playing at an All-NBA level. We get that. But then you add Luka. That's 2 first-team All-NBA talents. I don't know another team that has that. I don't know another team that has that. You might have to go back to Magic and Kareem for some stuff like that. Maybe a Shaq and Kobe. Maybe Shaq and Kobe, you can go back to that. You can't say Scottie wasn't first team All-NBA. So that's rare. Austin Reeves is averaging 31 right now, y'all. He's averaging 31 points. Austin Reeves is averaging 9.3 assists. Luka and Austin are both shooting 49% from the field. But y'all better listen to what I'm saying. I almost took this microphone. LeBron, when you come back, LeBron's got to chill, man. You got Luka averaging 37, shooting right at 50% from the field. You got Austin Reeves averaging 31, shooting right at 50% from the field. Let them flow. Let them play. LeBron, if I was LeBron, I would come back and be the third option. I definitely would not be the number one option. That is out. I'm going to save wear and tear off my body at the age of 40. I would not be the number one option. Luka, you got that. Now, the second option, that may depend on the night. LeBron, Austin, LeBron. And it's not a knock on can LeBron still be the number one option? Yes. I just told you he averaged 24.5 last season and shot over 50% from the field. We know that. 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He can be the number one option. But why do that when you don't have to? Do it for what? What's the point in doing, and the team is showing they can win. What's the point in doing that and you don't have to? Unless you're just trying to prove something. Conserve his energy for the playoffs. Now when you get, and even in the playoffs, in these 7-game series, he doesn't need to play heavy minutes every night when you got Luka and Austin Reeves. And DeAndre Ayton's averaging 17 and 8, shooting 67% from the field. He's giving you 17 and 8. Rui Hachimura. Rui is giving you 16 a night, shooting 57% from the field. And watch this. Rui is shooting 49% from three. Okay, I'm just saying. Rui is shooting 49% from three. See, that's what Michael Jordan should have done. When Michael Jordan came back to the Wizards, he wasn't really in basketball shape like that. He had sat out for 2 years. He retired from the Bulls. Michael should have chilled when he came back. He had a young Rip Hamilton on his team. Michael should have came back that year and said, I'll be the second option. Rip Hamilton, you got it. We know who Michael Jordan is, and we know his legacy. Nothing's going to tarnish that. Michael Jordan with the Bulls, nothing can tarnish that. But Mike tried to come back with Washington and be the number one. And yes, he averaged 23 points, and we get that. But that's wear and tear, Mike. Mike only played 60 games that year. You know why? You're not in basketball shape, and you're coming back trying to be the number one option. That's going to be rough, man. That's rough. Rip Hamilton was averaging 20 points, shooting 38% from three. Let him be the guy. And we know Rip went on to Detroit Pistons and won a championship. Mike should have been the second option. He should have been the second option. Mike came back tripping off that retirement. Mike shot 19% from three. Now, Michael Jordan, no, he had no business doing that. You got Rip Hamilton shooting 38% from three, and Michael shooting 19% from three and trying to be the number one out. Mike, pass that ball to Rip until you get in basketball shape. Now, the next season, okay, that was different. The next season, Jordan was in basketball shape, played all 82 games. But what I'm saying about LeBron is he's coming off of, I guess, some type of injury. I don't know, whatever. He's not going to be in basketball shape when he gets back. Transition slowly. I'm curious. I don't know when LeBron is returning back to the lineup. I don't know when LeBron's coming back. But when he does, I'm curious to see how JJ Redick, how the team handles his return. I would let Luka be the number one option. And I would alternate between LeBron and Austin as the number two option. Yes, I would. And that's because I like Bronny's getting 12 and a half minutes a night. I like that. Now, hopefully that don't change when Pops get back. But I like to see Bronny in the rotation. He's getting some game experience. And he looks like he's solid. He's holding his own out there. LeBron, chill when you come back. Take it easy. You're going to have some big games. Take it easy. This has been another episode of the Coach Cherry Show. Again, if you want to listen to the Coach Cherry Show, it's on Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, Patreon, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And don't forget to tune in Thursday for Locker Room Talk with Coach Cherry. I don't know what's going to be in this locker, but whatever's in this locker on Thursday, we're going to talk about it. And hopefully the Panthers get back on track next week. And again, Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore in the AFC, Philly, or the Rams out the NFC. And how will the Lakers handle LeBron James coming back to the line? Until next time, God bless you.
At least I was paid, help my confidence, regular haircuts turned into fades. Now a big smile like I'm winning in spades. Every day I see how the game's being played. But they don't want to tell you, I call it charade.